Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Head over to audibletrial.com/jumbled and feast your ears on their 180,000 titles and growing. You're going to find something you like, and we guarantee it. That's a Men's Warehouse reference. What's going on, everybody? I'm Zach, and I forgot how to do the intro.
I'm John, and I've never taken the time to learn the intro.
Okay, no, I'm gonna try it again. I got it now. I got it. You ready?
Yes.
All right. What? Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm not covered in a woven blanket. I'm Zach.
This is
jumbled. This is jumbled.
This is a shawl. This is a new angle. I have not seen you in this angle before. What is going on?
Yeah,
here?
I know. I'm bent over, and my asshole's just in the air, dude.
I've seen you in that angle before.
Ow! Fuck! God damn it! I re-aggravated my neck earlier today. I don't know
I'm choking on ginger ale now.
I don't know what the fuck I did, and then I
Let
leaned
us start
back.
to an episode, eh? Oh man, we're class acts right here.
Fucking hell, dude.
Fucking hell. Yeah, take it easy on that old man neck of yours, eh, bud?
Dude, I'm dying. Like,
I see that. Stop your dying.
you know, I can't. It's an inevitability. Hey, congratulations on your Patriots making a playoff spot.
Oh shit.
My Packers have also secured a playoff spot.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers has fucked me.
You got the long dick of Aaron Rodgers, huh?
So here's the thing. I know we've been talking a lot about fantasy football. I haven't talked to you. We haven't recorded in a little while because of my near-death experience. So I fought my way tooth and nail back into a playoff spot in my fantasy league.
Yeah.
Great news. I got 5th, and the top 6 make playoffs. So I was pretty proud of myself for squeezing in there. And then I lost in the first round of playoffs. And as much as I want to blame Aaron Rodgers, it wasn't his fault. I put up a lot of points. Just the person I was playing happened to put up more points than me, and I'm really upset about it.
Yeah.
But fantasy for me is now done, and I can just enjoy watching football and cheering for the best team in the world, the Patriots.
I mean, that's an arguable thing. But
who has the most Super Bowls in the last 10 years? I'm
not disagreeing with the amount of Super Bowls. I just hate the Patriots. So
why?
Just because that's the thing to do, you know.
Exactly. Is that a legitimate reason? Yo,
if
your friends jumped off a cliff, would you jump off the cliff too?
I mean,
throw some momisms at you.
Depends on who the friends are and if I could foresee living without said friends.
How high of a cliff would it have to be?
For what? It to be fatal?
For you to decide not to jump off of it. I've jumped off of some high stuff into like sand or grass before.
It really depends on what I'm jumping into. If it's water, I'll jump. I don't know. I've never done cliff jumping, but I think I could probably jump off a 50-foot cliff or something.
You know what we could do if you ever decided to come to Canada?
Huh?
We could go cliff jumping.
Oh yeah?
How's that passport coming?
Super great.
So you got some new headphones, Zach. I bet those cost about as much as a passport. You
want to know something that's gonna set you back in your chair there?
What?
I've had these headphones for probably, I don't know how long it's been. I've recorded literally every episode.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Yeah, yeah, you
Let
know.
me
I know, he says, try to cover his tracks. Hey,
you're rocking Xbox 360 headphones. Obviously, you've had them for a long time.
Excuse you, these are not Xbox 360 headphones. They're Xbox One headphones, okay?
I prefer Xbox One.
Yep, Xbox One. Although I do still have my original Xbox 360.
Do you?
Yeah, because Natalie Pearson did a bunch of art on my Xbox.
Oh, I would keep it then. That's fair.
Yeah, so it's boxed up.
You should put that in like a display or something.
Yeah, I want to find some like
a shadow box or
some acrylic or something that I can sort of
spray over top of it.
Yeah.
I remember I got was it the Halo or the Call of Duty Xbox?
It was a green one, right?
Yeah. I got that, and then there was a weird mishap happened, and I spilt about half a liter of Listerine all over it.
Yeah.
But the thing kept working. But then I ended up getting a new one, and I sold that one to Billy. And full disclosure, I told him that this thing got Listerine dumped all over it. It still works. Don't know how long it's gonna work for. But then like a newer edition came out, and I wanted the cooler one because I'm stupid like that, or I was.
Right.
Billy ran that Xbox for a handful of years, and his only complaint was that whenever he ran it pretty hard for a long time, it would make his room smell like mint. And I said I should have charged you extra for that.
That's not you can't complain about that.
Well, apparently it got annoying. Burnt mint smell after a while was not.
I guess burnt mint's not great.
How do you feel about the next generation of console gaming? Also, it's really weird right now. I'm assuming you're looking up at me, but it looks like you're praying to Jesus, which I basically am. But
you do sort of look like a deity right now with that blanket draped over top of your head.
It's a shawl.
It's a blanket, dude.
It's a shawl.
What's the purpose of it?
It's a prayer shawl, Zach.
So let me pray to blanket
my parents' church for me when I was getting surgery to keep me warm and to send me little angels. Look, there's a little angel on it, which I think this is a really cute little knick-knacky thing. But I've gotten this thing caught in my nose, in my beard, in my hair. It's a sharp little bastard.
Well, it's a prayer shawl, and so I am praying to you.
Yeah, you should pray to me.
By the way, yes, it is an angle thing because you are right here and my TV's right here.
Yeah, I gathered that much. Ding donger.
All right, man. Hey, by the way, don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate you mistyping and calling me Little Mater. All right,
Little Mater. Yeah, my bad. This evening was an absolute interesting experience. So my coach texted me this morning and said, "Hey, can you meet me and a couple team members downtown to pick up some lockers for the gym?" We ripped them out of this old office building, and he's like, it'll only take like 45 minutes. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. I'll like grab my shit. We met at the gym, took one truck, which made sense, so we didn't have to find multiple parking downtown.
Right.
And then we get upstairs and quickly realized that we needed more trucks. And then Carrie brought a toolkit, which was smart, but they were screwed together and we didn't have the right screwdriver. So then we had to find alternative screwdrivers, which took some time. And then we had to load them in the truck. And then it turns out we didn't have straps. So no tools, no straps, and we're trying to fit 11 lockers into a 6-foot box.
Oh my gosh.
We ended up making it work. It took some serious Tetris skills, including putting six or seven, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 lockers in the back of the truck, and then having to lift them up and put the truck gate up to hold them. And then Carrie brought his truck around, and we had to take a spare tire off the back of his Jeep and push his seats up, stole some cardboard from a recycling bin, and just rammed the rest into the back of his Jeep, and then put the spare tire and the dolly in the backseat of the truck. It was a fucking catastrophe. This 45-minute quick job ended up taking us about 2.5 hours. It was real fun. I mean, I had a great time. Don't get me wrong. There was part of me that wishes I was training, but our gym has sick lockers now, and I'm pretty stoked on that. And, I'm going to get lots of good use out of those lockers.
Yeah.
I'm going to have one locker for every shoe now. I'm starting a business plan. So the locker rental, we have some, is $5 a month to rent a locker.
Okay.
And I'm contemplating buying out all of the lockers and then subleasing them for like $10. Locker monopoly, baby.
Locker monopoly. I like it.
I'm an entrepreneur.
That's just hustling, dude. That's all that is.
Just a hustling, baby.
You gotta be one of those sort of sleazy looking dudes, though. If you're,
I'll grow out a mustache, slick my hair right back. Just pulled right back, greasy slick.
You gotta wait on somebody to say like, "Oh, where are all the available lockers?"
Be like, "Well, I got a deal for you." But I have to wear like jewel tone shirts, like the pastel jewel tones that are just so cheesy, and really fat ties.
100%.
Why is that a look? Like, why do those sales guys not realize that they look horrible?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't prefer a really fat tie.
No, I'm not a huge fan of skinny ties. I like medium to large skinny.
Yeah. I don't need like I don't want like a straight all the way down. Like, I'm not trying to look like was it Dilbert?
Dilbert.
I'm not trying to look like Dilbert, I already look pretty much like Dilbert, except without the glasses.
That's true. That's what you be for Halloween.
Yeah, I'm very cartoony.
You can be at times, that's for sure. Yeah, that's an interesting question. Like, you go to buy a car, all the car sales guys, not very many of them got style.
No, I think that's probably why they're selling cars.
Do you know that car sales is the number one employment for millionaires in America?
I'm sure they do okay for themselves if they're good salesmen, and
you don't mind pestering everyone and their dog to buy a car
100%.
Every 6 months.
Yeah,
it's the only way to do it. That is like, you can be super successful in car sales. You got to be willing to have no friends, because you're either working all the time or you're constantly trying to convince them that the car that you just sold them is now a piece of shit to buy a new car.
I mean, that's true. That's true. Man, that's got to be a lonely existence, right?
It's tough. It's a tough struggle,
I'm not big on sales. Like, I've never been. One time I had a job, and it was through like a temp agency, but this temp agency specialized in like blue collar sort of work, doing like a lot of manual labor and stuff like that. And so they had a position available, and it was an office job, but it was for like this foundry. It was like a metal foundry. They made like these big metal doors and I don't even know what else for like submarines and like really heavy duty stuff. But it was, the way it was sort of explained to me, was like sort of like an office assistant or something like that. And I was going to
seems very drastic difference there.
Right. And so I went in, and I was only there a day. The people were nice enough. And it was sort of cool, because it was like there was a front end of the building, and it was just like a couple rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And then you like went through a door, and then you're in the back, and there's like people like pouring molten metals and like hitting things with like fucking
mallets and shit.
Yeah, just like blacksmithing it up.
It sounds like you worked in a dwarven forge, and I'm really jealous.
Yeah.
Were they singing songs all the time and like smashing like antler horn cups?
Yeah, they might as well have been. Half of them were drunk.
Did they all have beards?
I don't recall, actually.
Were they all
like
stout?
I said, they were sort of rough around the edges, guys, I would say.
Did they smell like a musty closet?
It was hard to smell anything, because it just smelled like metal and rubber.
The rubber smells gross. When I was a younger lad working in the trades, I worked at a glass place that was right next to a tire shop that was right next to a KFC.
Yeah.
And in the summer, let me tell you, the smell of rubber and like burning rubber mixed with the smell of KFC
Yeah.
is not appealing at all. It may sound like that'd be a great smell, and I think both of those smells individually, I don't mind. Kind of weird that way.
Yeah.
But you put those two together, and it was so brutal. I can smell it right now just thinking about it.
So what you're saying is I shouldn't light my KFC fried chicken log and my BF Goodrich.
Here's the thing. I mean, that tire will burn for a long time and provide a lot of warmth and light to you and your family in this winter. Yeah. It might give you lung cancer, but that is maybe better than freezing to death.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right? KFC, they're selling firewood that smells like chicken when you burn it.
What? That's a real thing?
That's a real thing, dude. Welcome to America.
America. How many people? How long do you think before someone fucking tries to sue KFC for like almost killing themselves eating that wood?
There's somebody in.
It's America.
There's somebody in Florida right now doing it. Here, I'm gonna pull up an article on this. KFC.
This is incredible.
Firewood. Fire log is what we'll go with. Okay. So this is from CNN, which is, whatever. KFC is selling a chicken-scented fire log to warm your drumsticks this holiday season. Are they talking about my balls?
Your balls wouldn't be drumsticks. Those would be gizzards.
You don't know my balls, dude.
Again, Zach. I've seen every inch of you.
Inside and out, baby. Let's see here.
In the name of science.
Right, exactly. Hey, college was weird, right?
It's the time to experiment.
You're making it sound like so much.
Right, that's
more
what they say, right?
Right. Let's see here. So it's a partnership that they're doing with a log company, Envirolog.
It sounds really environmental.
Yes.
Let's
Envirolog.
burn something, put chemicals in it so it smells like chicken.
Have you ever seen Ren and Stimpy?
Yeah.
So Envirolog sort of sounds like something that might come from that.
Yeah.
Let's see here. They're offering what's sure to be the hottest commodity this season, a hunk of flammable chicken-scented bliss, otherwise known as the 11 Herbs and Spices Fire Log. That's the official name. The 11 Herbs and Spices Fire Log. You can get it at Walmart.
It on Amazon?
No, you can buy it. It's sold at Walmart for 19 bones.
Yeah, guaranteed it doesn't sell in Walmart Canada, though.
I don't know, man. But yeah, I think they did this last year too.
That is so intriguing. It must sell.
I mean, it must. I've never bought one.
I'm gonna try and buy one, and I'm gonna bring it camping and not tell anyone, and just randomly throw it in the fire.
People are gonna be so fucking hungry, dude,
and so confused. Like, do you smell KFC? Like, what are you talking about?
Dude, you having a stroke?
Dude, like. Did you eat some random mushrooms that you found on the hiking trail? Like, what are you talking about?
Dude, you are stoned off of your gourd, dude.
What did I tell you about drinking your own bathwater? I don't recommend that, by the way.
I mean...
No matter how thirsty you are, bathwater, not the answer.
Unless you have a... what about if you run it through a Brita filter like 4 or 5 times?
Well, I mean, we have those life straws. I mean, technically, it'd be fine,
true.
Right?
It's true. I haven't used my life straw since.
Really? It's probably expired now or full of bacteria. Speaking of bathtub stories,
you sent me a text on this. Was it last week before you were just too sick?
So I apologize to our listeners, one, for not releasing an episode. I nearly died and Zach nearly lost his head.
That's true.
And we just could not get it together. So we apologize, but you're listening now, so thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you for pushing through. Yes. That is officially the first week that we did not post anything in, 3 years?
Something like that.
So, I felt bad, but at the same time, I was like, you know what? Our percentage, pretty good. We're still rocking that 99.9%.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm kind of like a 75% kind of guy. So we got a few weeks that we can take off, baby.
yeah, we're gonna take the rest of the winter off. Hunker down. See you guys in the springtime.
Gone. So, anyways, my sickness. I'll tell. It's a little bit of a long story, but we got some time to kill.
Oh yeah, we got time.
And I haven't really talked to you about this. So, Friday.
This past Friday.
2 Fridays now.
Okay.
I go. We have like a big team kind of thing, and then we go out for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And the original plan was to go to this Vietnamese place. Well, the person who coordinated the lunch didn't check the time that this Vietnamese place opened, and we were 30 minutes early before they opened.
Oh, gosh.
And I had no desire to sit in a parking lot for 30 minutes.
Right. Who does that?
Luckily, there was my previously top 4 shawarma place in the city was right next door and open.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, hey, let's get some shawarma. And then people were like, oh, okay, fine. Like, we've gotten catering from there before. They're pretty good. So we go in, eat food, no big deal. Come home, no big deal. We go to a play. You know, it felt a little bloated, but I just assumed it's because I ate so much food.
Right.
Saturday morning, wake up, feel okay, go to the gym, have a good 2-hour training session, come home, feeling fine, feeling hungry, but feeling fine. Like, man, I'm going to try and be a decent husband for once, and I'm going to, like, clean the kitchen. And since I'm hungry, a great place to start is the fridge.
Right.
So I start, like, just smashing leftovers into my face, and I come across this asparagus. And I opened it, and it looked a little weird, but it was only a few days old. I'm like, it's asparagus. It can't be that bad. Huh. And I like, smelled it. It didn't smell bad. And I took a little bite, and I was like, it tastes normal. So I was like, oh, fuck it. So I ate it.
Right.
20 minutes later, I'm unloading the dishwasher. I'm like, ooh, my tummy is, like, really upset. I should go to the bathroom. So I, like, you know, hike my way over to the bathroom, sit down, and am greeted by Niagara Falls coming out of my butt.
Oh my god!
Straight liquid.
Oh no!
Like just pouring buckets of water out of my beehole, which was concerning, but not unnormal for me.
All right, let's stop for a quick moment. I promise I won't make it long. Let's talk about our sponsor for today and every week on this podcast. It is Audible. You guys know them. You guys love them. We love them. Head over to audibletrial.com/jumbled and get your free 30-day trial and a free audiobook. The audiobook that I'm going to recommend this month is So Long and Thanks for All the Bacon by Fred Rui. This is narrated by Fred Rui as well. It's a pretty short one, only an hour and 47 minutes long. But if you like comedy and satire, it's going to be a good one for you. Here's a brief summary on this audiobook. It says, about once in every decade, a book comes along that changes not only the way you think, but also your future take on mankind. This is not that book. Who am I and why should you buy this audiobook? Well, first off, try steal it from a friend. I do not endorse that Audible, but hey, you let them put it on your website. So a friend you don't like and one you think will forget to ask you for the book back. If that fails, then you should buy this audiobook because most of the good movies have already been remade, and you can tell friends without lying that you listen to this. So, it says, from IKEA, the original escape room. Dude, you get lost. It's true. It's a maze in IKEA. You're there for a minimum of 2 hours just trying to weave your way through that store. From IKEA to flying cars, shipping kittens to Cheesecake Factory, dog people versus cat people, to settling the great Miracle Whip versus mayonnaise debate. Miracle Whip, I'm on that side. Plus, you will finally learn how to win that crappy cocktail game. If you could have dinner with anyone, who would you choose? These are topics and many more that keep author Fred Rui up at night. And if it keeps you up at night as well, then maybe this is the book that you should choose. If you don't want to listen to this audiobook, it's totally cool. Like I said, Audible's got over 180,000 different titles for you to peruse and choose. and that rhymes. So I think at this point, I'm not going to get any better than that. Head over to audibletrial.com/jumbled and take advantage of your free 30-day trial and a free audiobook that you get to keep for life. Hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you. And let's get back to the podcast.
Okay. It was a different kind. Normally it's like if I eat something spicy, then I get like the spicy poops, right?
Right.
So this was like a completely different experience. I'm like,
Sorry. The spicy poops.
The spicy poops, man. You don't get the spicy poops?
I just never heard it called that.
The spicy poops, man. So I deal with that, clean myself up. I'm like, okay, maybe that was just like a weird one-time thing. Let's go back to unloading dishwasher. 5 minutes later, I'm like, my tum-tum's upset. Let's go to the bathroom. Go back. Well, round 2 of the falls comes back. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. By this time, Allie comes home and she's sitting on the couch watching TV and she's like, are you okay? You don't look very good. And I was like, no, my stomach is really upset and my poopies are more like peepees. And Allie and I signed up with some friends for a video game tournament, a League of Legends tournament that night, which we were really excited for and we're actually practicing for.
Okay.
And she's like, well, we got Clash in like 2 hours, so I don't know, like you could take a nap or something. I was like, yeah, nap. That's what I need. I'm tired. I worked out really hard. I ate some food. I'll just sleep this off. So I close my eyes and I fall asleep for 45 minutes. Wake up. I'm like, gotta go to the bathroom. Same thing happens. 45 minutes later, we go to start. And at this point I have like a fever and I'm like shaking. Jesus. And like my stomach is worse than when I had appendicitis.
Oh.
Which is pretty unfortunate.
It's not great, yeah.
And we start this tournament and there's like a little bit of a break, like we pick our team or whatever, and I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom, and I go to the bathroom. And then I like come sit down and I immediately run back and then I start throwing up. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. So I start this game shivering with a blanket over me, trying not to poop myself or puke. Barely make it through the game. Like, in fact, I didn't even finish it because then our basement tenant came home and it was about the time where I was about to pop. And I was like, Cody! He's like, what? I'm like, you need to play for me right now. And then I run to the bathroom for probably 20 minutes, just both ends, just every way possible excavating. This is a really gross story for the podcast. I apologize to our listeners. It does get funnier. So I come out after. I'm like, I can't do this. I physically I can't play. Like, I can't do this. I feel bad. I'm letting 4 other people down, and we spent a week preparing for this. It's like, I just can't do it. Everyone was like, yeah, if you're that sick, like, why are you even trying? Because I'm that committed to a stupid video game that means nothing. So for the next 24 hours I was on this like 15-minute cycle of shitting and puking profusely to the point where I lost 10 pounds in 24 hours.
Oh my God, dude.
I was so dehydrated that I would take like 2 sips, like just tiny little of water, because I was like, you gotta drink, like you need to try and stay hydrated. And within like a minute, anything I put in my stomach would immediately come out. Prior to this, Allie's like, oh, I'm gonna get you some gravel, like that will help with your upset stomach. And I was like, yeah, that's great, because at this time it hadn't fully developed. And I was like, hey, are these chewables? And she heard, do I take these, like 2 of these? And she said, yeah. And I started chewing gravel. Don't recommend it. Tastes horrible. Made me throw up immediately. Fun fact for Jumbo listeners, don't chew non-chewable pills. It's a really bad idea. So anyways, at this point, like, it's, early evening and my like fever's like through the roof. I am freezing, shaking, super dehydrated, body aches, trying to sleep. I have this heating pad on me, like I can't do it. I'm like, I know what I can do. I'm going to take the hottest bath possible. It's just like, let's just push through this. And so I plug the drain in the bathtub and I just crank only hot water, maximum hot water. Yeah. And I slither into this thing and it was so warm and inviting and it felt so good. And I was in the tub for about 15 minutes before I got the grumbles. And at this point, I was super dehydrated, hadn't eaten, was throwing up constantly, and was like, I have to go to the bathroom. But I'm like on my back in this tub trying to stay warm. And I was like, okay, you can do it, John. And I try and like get out of the tub, and I did not have the physical strength to get out of the tub. This is how sick I was.
Oh, no.
So I had this legit moment where I was like, I can't do this. Like, I think I can like lean my head out of the tub to puke into the toilet because it's right there. It's like, but I think I'm going to shit in this tub. And I started like laying out the pros and cons of like, it's mostly water. I'm freezing. And I physically can't get out of the tub right now. And then I was like, so those are the pros. Like, you don't have to move. You're already wet. It's mostly water. You're the most comfortable you've been in the last, like, 8 hours. You got a toilet that you can puke in. It's like, what's the worst can happen? The cons were, I don't know if I can get out of a tub covered in my own feces. Right. I don't have the energy to clean that tub.
Right.
I don't know if I'm going to have the energy tomorrow, nor do I want to leave it till tomorrow. And I sure as hell don't want to ask Allie to clean a tub that I just deuced in during a hot bath. And then having to clean myself off. Like, that was my thought process. I was like, okay, John, you could do this, and it will probably extend your comfort for like 10, 15 minutes. Right. But at some point, you're going to have to get out. And at that point, you're going to be covered in poop water.
In your own shit, yeah.
And do you have the energy to clean yourself? And that's what it came down to. The brass tacks was, what takes more energy? Crawling out of this tub right now, or having to shower in 20 minutes to clean myself off? And I chose getting out of the tub, so I slithered my fat ass out of that tub.
You chose right.
You will appreciate that I had to go through that thought process not once, not twice, but 3 times, because I took 3 separate baths to try and stay warm.
Oh my God.
And each time I was like, I'm a little bit worse. It's a little bit harder to get out. Can I do it? So long story short, I was, very sick Saturday. Sunday I was feeling better, but still couldn't keep anything down. Monday, because I'm stubborn, was like, I need to go to work. Like, I just got to go to work. I'm going to be okay. I haven't eaten in 2 days. Like, there's nothing in my stomach. Gonna be fine. And as a good Canadian does, on their way to work, I stopped at Tim Hortons and grabbed a coffee and didn't drink any of it because I couldn't fathom the thought of putting anything into my body. And I get up to my office and I'm like, okay, plug in my computer, get my shit unpacked, and I take a couple sips of coffee. I'm like, okay, that wasn't bad. Take a couple more and I'm like, all right. And then within 30 minutes of that, I was like, uh-oh. And then I went and threw up in my work office building. And then was like, okay, I clearly need to go back home. So while I'm doing this, thinking I had food poisoning, someone was like, man, you look really, really sick. Did you get what everyone else got? And I was like, what? What are you talking about? And they're like, yeah, a bunch of people got food poisoning who went to shawarma. They're pretty sure it's the shawarma because basically everyone who went got sick. And I was like, oh, fuck. Okay, that makes sense. Food poisoning. But it's also weird that this is day 3 and I'm still dealing with it. Right. So whatever. I go home, try and sleep it off. Tuesday, same thing. So I go to the doctor. And I go to like a little walk-in clinic and get in pretty quick. And the doctor's like, give her that whole story. And she's like, sounds like you got salmonella from the shawarma place, especially if everyone else got this. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. The symptoms, blah, blah, blah. She's like, you need to do a poop test. And I was like, a what? And she said, we need a poop sample.
Yeah, poop in a hat.
Well, that would have been a convenient way to do it.
Yeah, poop in a cup or something.
So she gives me medication, anti-nausea medication, which works amazingly. She gave me extra. She's like, you can just keep it in case you get sick again. It's like, I like you. God bless this Canadian system. And then she prescribes me Pedialyte to get my hydration back up.
Sure, yeah.
And then goes on a 10-minute reprimand about I should have gone to the hospital if I was like for how sick I was. And I was like, well, I don't want to be a drain on the system. And like, I thought I just had food poisoning. She's like, John,
man,
we don't want people who have the sniffles going to the ER. But if you lost 10 pounds in 24 hours, something's seriously wrong and you could risk organs shutting down. You should have gone to the hospital.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you know what? I'm stubborn. I'm sorry. I feel better now. Mostly, sort of, not really. She's like, yeah, when did you eat last? I was like, not yet. She's like, so you're not better. You just don't have anything in your system to like push out. I was like, all right, good point. So anyways, I get home, take that stuff, whatever, and then a health inspector calls me. And I was like, oh, okay, interesting. And turns out that the shawarma place pushed out a bunch of catering orders, and a bunch of people got sick, and a bunch of people across the city filed complaints, including people at my office. And she said, I heard you got sick, wanted to follow up with you, wanted to chat with you, start this investigation, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, after a couple of conversations with her.
Long story Shart.
I did not ruin any pairs of underwear. I'm very proud of that. So I had to do this poop test, which is fucking weird. She gives me like 2 containers.
So you gotta like perfectly laser, like with laser precision, put your asshole over top of a cup. Is that what I'm understanding?
I think she saw me like looking at it and like pondering, like, how do I get the poops into the little cups? And then she said, oh, if you take off the lid, there's like a little spoon on it. And I was like, okay. But like, how do I get this in here without like contaminating? Like, it's not like you're supposed to wash your hands before you touch it.
Sure.
You're not supposed to like get any urine on it, which I don't know about you, but I always pee when I poop, like no matter what.
I think it's usually pee then poop for me.
Yeah, I pee and then poop. So she could see me like trying to fucking do the mental math here to figure out how to get this.
She saw the numbers floating over your head.
She saw Rain Man going hard. And she's like, okay, here's what you're going to do, Josh. She's like, do you have saran wrap at home? I was like, yeah, I think so. She's like, okay, you're going to go home. You're going to open up the lid and the seat of your toilet, and you're going to lay saran wrap across the bowl for 3/4 of it. She's like, you're going to make a little hole for your penis so that you can pee because you don't want to pee on your poop. And then you're going to put the lid down that will hold the saran wrap in place. She's like, and then you're going to poop on the saran wrap. And then you're going to open the lid, and there's going to be a little spoon, which is actually a weird jagged spork, which also was really concerning of like, why do you need a serrated spoon? What kind of poop are you dropping that you need a saw? And she's like, and then you're going to just scoop it into the container to the fill line, but don't contaminate the edges. And I was like, okay, and then what? She's like, oh, and then you just like bring it to a lab services place. I was like, wait, I do this at home? She's like, yeah, it's unless you know you're gonna poop right away, like you do it at home and then you bring it. And I was like, how long do I have to bring it? She's like, oh, like 8 hours. And if it's gonna be like tomorrow, you just put it in the freezer. And I was like, I cannot imagine putting 2 containers that then go in a Ziploc baggie of poop in my freezer and that being okay. I was like, who the fuck is doing this? Who is at the point where they're like, you know what? I really don't want to take this to the lab right now, so I'm just going to throw it in the fridge right next to, the mustard.
Yeah, that's not Dijon. Don't.
Yeah, that is not what you want on your sandwich. So I go through this process successfully. And
Congratulations.
Thank you. And then I put the Ziploc baggie like in my winter jacket pocket. And I drive to the lab services place, and then there's this fucking long line. And I say long, there was like 5 people ahead of me, so it's not super long.
Yeah,
but
I would have just taken it out and been like, I have a cup of shit. Can I please cut in front of everybody?
Someone tried that with a urine sample, and they're like, no, you have to wait in line because we have to check your paperwork. And he was pissed, and I was like, dude, I got a pocket full of shit right now in a public spot. Like, I don't want to be here. You stand in line behind me, motherfucker.
Right.
So I drop it off, whatever. A couple days later, I get a call back and said I didn't have salmonella. I don't have parasites, but what I did get was a virus, an intestinal virus. And I
Yeah.
said, oh, okay, like the flu? And they're like, no, it's a virus that you get from ingesting human feces.
Oh my God.
And I was like, okay. And she's like, so what happened at this restaurant that you went to was an employee had this virus and went to the bathroom and had fecal matter on their hands and then either did not wash their hands or did not wash their hands properly and then prepared a bunch of food for the entire city and got a shit ton of people sick. So I have this virus in my system now and it will go away. It takes like 3 weeks. So I'm a week and a half left of dealing with this virus. So I'm technically still infectious.
Yeah.
Which I plan on using as a weapon. If anyone pisses me off, I'm going to throw poop at you and you're going to get sick. I'm going to revert back to our ape heritage and I'm just going to fling shit at people who piss me off. Biological warfare.
As you should.
Yeah, so don't cross any lines. So that's the story of how I almost died. But I'll tell you what though, my abs Sunday morning, Sunday evening looked so good.
I was like, how are they looking right now?
I mean they're there, but I put the weight back on. I'm not like malnourished, but my face looked like it. I look like I should have been like I was in like a North Korean prison camp and was like eating beetles for a year. Like my face was all sunk in.
Yeah.
My nose, like my bridge of my nose, like I lost like a bunch of weight there, which I thought was weird. Like I was looking at my face on Tuesday, and was just like, what the fuck has happened to me? Like I had no strength.
Wow.
And like lost a shit ton of weight. But I was like, damn, there's some benefits to this. Not worth it, but it looked pretty good if you could get over me looking malnourished. Which I was. It's very malnourished.
Sure.
So, but that is why we didn't record, along with Zach half breaking his neck.
Oh my God, dude. Well, my story is nowhere near as entertaining
or disgusting.
Or disgusting. It was just sort of one of those weird things where, like my body is just slowly shutting down on me. You know, it's one of those.
Old, Z.
I know old. one of those defining moments where you're like, oh yeah, no, I'm not 20 anymore. You know, so I went out. I was getting ready to go to work, and my wife was like, "Hey, I've got some bags out in your car that I didn't take out." She like took my car to go get something the night before, and I was like, "Okay, I'll go out and get them, whatever, before I leave."
You broke your neck one tripping the groceries, didn't you?
No, carrying the bags was fine. I got the bags in the house. I carried them upstairs. I set them down. I had nothing in my hand, and it was just one fluid turn from dropping the bags off to turn around and going out the door, and I pinched a nerve or something. Like it just dropped me. Like I just went straight down to the ground. Like
Jesus,
like,
that's pretty serious.
Yeah, just debilitating. You know, like I didn't lose consciousness or anything, obviously, but like it was just so much pain. And I tried to get up and like stumble to the door. And then I turned around. I was like, no, I should probably. So I like stumbled back to my room and I walk in looking like Quasimodo. My head's all turned to the side because I'm trying to compensate for the pain. And I'm like, help. It's like that's all I can say is just help. You know, I'm like, I did something to my neck. I don't know. And so Steph tried to like give me like a neck rub real quick. I'm pretty sure she was like partially asleep when I busted through the door like the Kool-Aid man. Right. And so she tried to no avail to give me a neck rub. It didn't do anything. I did go to work that day. Because it's just it wasn't
You're
enough.
Stubborn man, yeah.
But it wasn't enough to keep me out of work. It was just like I'm going to let my boss know that I probably shouldn't pick some shit up today or really do any fast movements or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So then it was just that for probably, I don't know, it stuck around for probably a good, I mean, slowly got better, but I went to the chiropractor and got adjusted and stuff like that. But over like 5 days, it was just like
pretty miserable.
a little constant reminder, like, hey, I'm still here, fucker. You know,
yeah,
I'm still here. Yep. So, and then today, I don't even know what I did. It's like, it's not bad right now, but it's like a minor pinch or whatever. I can still turn my neck and it's not awful or anything, but sucks, man. We're getting old.
It is. There's that meme that's going around. It's like in your 20s, you get hit by a car, and like the next morning, you're like running and jogging. You're like, I'm fine. And in your 30s, it's like sleep the wrong way in your bed, and you're in a full body cast. And I was like, I relate to that.
Yeah. 100%.
I relate to that so much.
100%. Yeah.
Oh man, so old. Getting old, Zach. What are we gonna do?
I don't know, man. I will say I did enjoy. I did enjoy the episode with Greg last week. That was a fun one. I learned
a lot of interesting things about the dark webs.
The dark webs, yeah, man. With your tours.
My tours. That was a pretty fun episode. I mean, Craig and I go way back, and we got a lot of funny stories. But he's a very, very smart man and knows a lot of things about a lot of things that I did not know about, especially in the computer world. When I have issues with my computer, I still think of it as like the old school TVs that you just smack a bunch and then hope that it works better.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that's the right strategy. I mean, I don't work in IT. Okay.
It's not, yeah.
Well, knowing that, I'll keep doing it because it's what I know, and I'll just hope for the best, and and go from there. But it was a really good episode. He had a lot of fun. I know he said he was willing to record whenever we wanted. Okay. So we'll definitely have to get him back on. But it was a fun episode. I missed you, that's for sure, as you could tell by the audio and me fucking up the intro like 4 times.
Well, even I messed it up today, so it's like...
Yeah, and then I was like, and we're going to cut it here and Zach will do the outro. And then I'm going to do half the outro for Zach and fuck it up more.
It's all good.
What I learned is that I appreciate you, so thank you for keeping this joyful podcast running.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. Yeah, and so not last week, but the week before... was with my voice just gone. I don't know what that was. It was just like a weird overnight thing where it just like it was there and then it wasn't, and then I just sounded like it sounded like Peter Brady. Like it would not have been good for me to get on any kind of
audio. Yeah. Well, you know what? It's all good. Here we are. We're recording. I think we got a pretty good back in business episode. Why don't let's wrap this one up before we go anywhere crazy, unless you had something pressing you needed to quiz my dumb brain on.
I don't think I have anything pressing, but let me check I do have a little thread inside of Slack. I'm trying to see. Oh, do we have any update on getting Doty on the podcast? I know it's been a couple weeks since we talked about that.
He's ghosted me.
Has he?
I think probably the Christmas season and whatnot is a little bit crazy for him. So
yeah, it's hard.
He definitely wants to do it, and I'm excited for him to be on. I think that'll be a really interesting podcast. He speaks faster than I do, so that who knows where this is gonna go.
Boy, does he! I you know what? Like that's one of those things you sort of forget until you start thinking about it, and you're like, yeah, that guy's brain's going a million miles a minute.
It's a very fascinating brain. I miss that brain. I miss Graceland,
I do too. Oh, Johnny, you crying?
A little bit.
Oh God.
I see your GU blanket back there, or sweater or something, and
yeah, blanket. That's when they were they were getting ready to, or they're selling all the stuff with the old mascots on it because
we got sued by
Georgia Tech.
Stupid Georgia Tech picking on a tiny ass school. Anyways, I will follow up with the Dodester though, and we will
Cool.
get him on. And if any of our listeners want to be a guest, write us in. Let us know what you want to talk about.
Yeah.
We're not elitists here. We'll bring you on. Just have something to talk about,
Absolutely. Maybe we do. You know what? If we get enough people writing in, maybe we do like a caller show or something like that. We'll figure it out.
We could do a caller show as long as you have Skype. Because then we can just record the audio directly from Skype and just bring random people in. Yeah, that could be real interesting.
It could be.
Bonus points if you're not wearing pants on Skype.
Double bonus points if you're a dude not wearing pants.
Double. In fact, you'll get 10 bonus points for every inch.
It's a competition.
And those bonus points, you can redeem a bunch of signature jumbled swag, including doilies.
Yeah, we'll have to talk to Joe about that. He's got all the doilies at his house. He's got
all the jumbled doilies. He's hoarding that shit as collectibles.
Yeah. I'm like, what are you gonna do with all those doilies, man?
He's waiting for the right moment, the right market to sell those things.
Yeah, it's really a seller's market, So you just hold on to it. Hold on to it till it's the right time. All right, well, let's wrap it up. This has been a good episode. I hope you guys. It's good to see you too. I hope you guys learned a lot about gastrointestinal issues. Point of the story that I took away, Johnny, is after you poop,
wash your hands.
Go ahead and wash your hands really well.
It makes you wonder about how dangerous ass to mouth is.
Yeah,
which is definitely a conversation for another episode.
Yeah, I don't think we need to get into that right now, but yeah, just make sure your partner's feeling okay. Before you do all that stuff.
Take care of your partner.
Yes, exactly. Thank you guys for coming back around. We hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you guys want to follow us on any and all social media, that would be @JumbledPodcast. If you want to send us any emails, that would be jumbledpodcast@gmail.com or johnny.jumbled@gmail.com. Want to say wherever you're listening to us is just fine, but please head over to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating and review. It would be much appreciated. Thanks to Audible for sponsoring this and every week of the podcast. Head over to audibletrial.com/jumbled and feast your ears on one of the 180,000 plus titles that they have in their library. You're gonna find something on there. If you don't, then I'll eat my hat. And I've never eaten a hat before, but I'll do it. Hat. An entire hat. It might be a little one. I'll find.
Do you want some of that mustard I got sitting in the fridge?
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like that might be a little precarious.
There's something wrong with me.
Both of us, man. And then head over to patreon.com/jumbled. Pay $500 and fix Johnny's gastrointestinal issues. Also get us both in a dress. We appreciate you guys for coming back each and every week. And next week will be no different when we see you guys for a brand new episode of Jumbled, your favorite podcast.
About how to lose weight.
That's it. It's the new fad diet, man. Just get a virus.
Eat the poops.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.